on, Alanis? What brings you down here today?
I just birthed a record called So-Called Chaos yesterday.
Which case?
Just spreading the good word.
The guitar case?
Yeah.
Now, why are you coming down to do Howard's show?
Because I love Howard. I want to support the concept of freedom of expression, and he's a very great example of it.
Are you nervous being on the show?
Anticipatory.
Really?
Not nervous, I'm excited.
So what do you think Howard's going to want to talk to you about?
Anything from censorship to sex to love to music.
And you're cool with all that?
Totally.
Well, I'm excited. Finally, after years of trying to get her here, Alanis Morissette. Baby.
She's there.
Robin.
There she is. You didn't even see her.
No, I didn't see her come in.
I can't see you, Robin.
Here I am.
Hi.
Right there.
Hey, what's that big fan noise, Scott?
Probably the lights in the ceiling.
The lights in the ceiling.
Are we going to have to contend with that?
Boy, that sucks.
Are these new
No,
lights?
it's this light right over here.
Oh, yeah, guys, turn that light off. They're trying to be creative on the E show and
that never works.
give you some kind of weird lighting.
Some special lighting?
Yeah, some special lighting, and it just never works out, to be honest with you. Anyway, thank you for coming in here.
Thank you for having me.
I'm a huge fan of Alanis Morissette's. I've said so for years, and I didn't think you wanted to come in.
I was scared a few years ago.
Really?
Now you're feeling brave?
Sure.
Yeah.
Now I'm feeling neutral and excited and, all that.
Yeah. First of all, I applaud you because you're against censorship. You've spoken out against it. It is kind of weird what's going on. Even on your new album, you wanted to use, I can't even say the word a-hole. And they told you couldn't.
Well, they requested that I change it, and of course I could have stood my ground and said no, and there would have been consequences for it. But I think it just, opened up this conversation. Had I not done it, had I not taken this opportunity to make a change of my own free will, it wouldn't have brought this conversation up around the planet in the way that it has. So I'm taking advantage.
Doesn't it piss you off that you wrote a song with the word a-hole in it? And somehow that's going to, they can't put that on the air? I mean, that's absurd.
And do you think some of your previous work might not have been accepted on an album today?
Yeah, we have gone backwards in that way. I also know that art and expression is really subversive if it needs to be.
Right.
It's going to be expressed in one way or another. It won't be repressed. So.
That's right.
So
what's going on with you anyway? I like the shorter hair, by the way.
Do you? Thank you.
Yeah, much better.
Really?
Even I've gone shorter.
You have, I noticed.
Yeah, I had to. I could have maintained that long hair.
Yeah.
I always felt when I saw you on stage, like the hair was a whole presence.
It was another person.
Yeah, there was a whole thing you had to carry around.
Yes, very much a hiding behind situation.
All right, the first, you've answered this question a million times, but we have to get to the bottom of it. You wrote that song about Dave Coulier from Full House?
People talk about who that song's about, and they will continue to, and I never confirm or affirm who it's about, and I never will.
You're kidding me.
Well, I say never, and I really shouldn't say never, because I may very well one day do it, but...
You've never revealed... How did his name even come up? Do you know that guy?
A lot of
dated him.
speculation. Yeah, I did date him.
You dated him?
Yes, I did.
Aha! And you were that worked up about him that you'd write a song. I feel it is about him.
That song's like this generation's "You're So Vain."
You know, you know
trying to figure it out.
You know who told me?
Who told you?
Stamos.
John Stamos told. Yeah, he told me that too.
The thing is, there was no one in the studio when I wrote that song, so no one actually knows. And not that I'm just doing it gratuitously for the sake of mystery, but I didn't write it with the intention of recriminating him.
I love how worked up you get about guys. I mean,
Yeah.
I really admire that because the biggest defect in my personality is that I don't get worked up about anybody.
No?
No, I just refuse to, and that's bad in a way. You're very emotional, and I envy that. You feel
envy
things.
the investment?
I envy the fact that you're human. I'm not.
And what are you?
I'm not human.
You're a
Cyborg? What are you?
Because if a woman breaks up with me, I just go, oh, who needs her? Right away I get defensive.
But that's your reaction.
But I don't write songs about it.
You don't write
speak
songs
about it.
anything.
I do speak about it.
So there's your expression. It's just not got guitar behind it.
I feel you love men.
I do love men.
You really love men.
Of course I do. Why would I get all worked up if I didn't?
And you define a lot of yourself through men.
I define myself in relationships, and because I'm heterosexual, it'll usually be with men.
Are you always in relationships? Do you ever go without a relationship for a while, or are you always in a relationship?
I'd be on and off for many years.
You with a dude now?
Yes, I am.
Who is your dude?
His name's Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds, probably some good-looking dude. What does he do?
He's an actor, a writer.
Of course.
He's beautiful.
But not all of her songs are about men. I wouldn't say that.
No, they're
Say
not.
all of them, but a lot of them are.
Some of them, the romantic, ones, obviously.
This guy who you're with now, do you ever wake up in the morning? Do you guys live together?
We do.
You do. But you're on tour a lot.
Yes.
All right.
So we live together in hotel rooms often.
He travels with you.
Sometimes.
Nice. And do you ever wake up and start singing to him? See, to me, that'd be hot.
Really?
I find you very hot.
Thank you, Howard.
Because you know, that's the whole artist thing. Nobody who sings ever wants to go out with me.
You've never had a song written about you
Nothing.
by a woman.
Are you dating anybody right now?
I am.
Not a musician, obviously.
No. No. I've been dating someone for 4 years.
But
Ugh.
the farthest thing from a musician I've heard her sing.
By the way, my girlfriend sang to me last night. We were watching American Idol. Mm-hmm. And what was the song one of those chicks did? I can't even remember what it, but she started singing it to me. I go, honey, you should be on American Idol.
Oh, dear. You're in love.
That's real love. Man.
Oh.
So your mother and father put you in acting, like kid shows, when you were 9?
I think it was pretty self-generated. I was very precocious, so I don't know if they actually put me in it, but they supported me in it, certainly.
You're resentful of your parents, aren't you? Because if they forced
Who
you.
isn't?
Well, yes, of course, but they forced you into show business in a sense. You were their dancing monkey in a sense.
That they vicariously lived through?
Yeah, were they show business parents?
I think they had aspirations to be in the show business kind of world in some ways. My dad certainly has that hidden artist in him.
Who would want their little girl, their little child, being exposed to that world? Why not keep her a child?
It is abuse.
It is abuse.
Oh, yeah. I think any child who's in the public eye, under the age of 30, frankly, it's child abuse.
Haven't you said to your mother, why? Why didn't you give me a regular childhood? Why did I have to be on Nickelodeon or whatever the hell you're on?
I like the have to that's being used as though I had no choice in the matter.
No, but you really didn't.
Well, in
you
some
did it
ways.
to please your parents. You know that.
Well, she could have not performed.
Yeah, I mean, you could have. You performed because it made them happy. Poor baby.
I love the sweet brainwashing right now.
But isn't it true? You've been in psychotherapy for how many years now?
Many years.
Many years. Why? Because you're talking about this abandoned childhood of yours, growing up too fast.
This music is perfect, by the way.
Alanis Morissette opens up.
Oh, I'll have you in bed eventually. Don't worry. If I keep relating to you like this, you're gonna like it.
Oh God!
You'll sleep with me. You'll see. It'll be a horrible experience.
The mix with the strings getting louder is really perfect right now.
Alanis Morissette opens up about her horrible childhood. Was it a horrible childhood? Be honest.
It was horrible and wonderful.
What was the name of the show you were on?
I was on You Can't Do That on Television.
You can't do that on television.
Yeah. It was actually a supposed children's show, but with a lot of adult humor in it. I was in over my head.
Yeah, I think it was like a kiddie Saturday Night Live.
It was.
Was your mom said to you, listen, honey, I'm going to bring you on all these auditions? Did you audition a lot as a kid?
No. I did audition for that show, though.
But did your mom or your dad, who pushed more?
You're so cute, you guys. Who pushed more?
Yeah.
They were both pretty passionate. My mom would always say, if you don't want to do this, you don't have to do it.
Right. Yeah.
But you knew Dad really wanted to
Dad
do
was
it.
pretty passionate.
Yeah.
And then they were so excited when you got the part on You Can't Do This on Television.
Of course.
And then you became a pop star.
Well, wait a second. I'm still caught up in the...
You're still chronologizing.
Oh, yeah. Wait, I'm still caught up in this. So how many years were you on the kids show?
2 years.
And what was it that you couldn't do on television? Like, in other words, is that where they slime you and do all that kind
When
of
you
stuff?
say I don't know, you get slimed.
And you're a very sensitive woman. Did you find that disgusting in a way? Like it was hurtful to the people to get slimed? Did you feel bad for them?
I didn't. I actually enjoyed it.
You liked it?
The weight of the cream of wheat texture on the head was a very satisfying feeling.
And you were slimed and you had to experience that?
I did.
Did you sing on that show?
We had a rock band called the Green Slimes, very
Right.
temporarily.
Were you afraid when you moved into making, rock records, were you afraid that would hurt your credibility, that you would be perceived as just another one of these like teen or these, these kids from a teen show or something like that? Were you afraid of that?
I wasn't afraid of it. I presumed it. And I knew in time that, as I continued writing, that it would, the present time of whatever I was expressing would, become the consistent thing that was happening.
But that's why I was getting to that. She became, were you sort of forced into doing that kind of stuff too?
Yes, she was. I'll answer for her. So your parents...
continuously
you had
abused.
an expression that you wanted to make, but this was so contrary to it.
What was so contrary to it?
That kind of songs you were forced to sing.
The
You're
slime
so
song.
cute. The forcing, the having to.
First,
is
your parents forced you on TV, and then they forced you to date Dave Coulier.
What monsters?
kicking and screaming.
Monstrous parents.
You know,
Yes.
I saw that CNN piece that they did on Alanis this past weekend,
Oh, wow.
and they were saying that the one thing she really hated was when they said she was the Canadian Debbie Gibson.
Right, you had to fight that.
Did CNN say that?
Yeah.
I love how people, basically go into my brain and say what I felt for me.
So, when did Dave Coulier, when did you start dating him?
I was 19.
19.
But as a result of being in show
That
business,
animal.
did you start dating very young?
I did. I started dating secretively when I was 12.
12, you were having full sex?
No. Dating and sex are not necessarily synonymous, Howard.
She's the Canadian Amy Fisher.
At 12, you had a boyfriend.
Well, he lasted about 3 days,
When
which
you-
was my norm for a long time.
That's good. 3 days. I usually last about 10 seconds.
So, what age were you when you lost your virginity?
Well, I was the Catholic mindset, can't lose your virginity or you're a whore kind of mindset for a really long time. So I considered myself to be sexually active all through my teen years, starting at 14 or 15.
But no intercourse.
No intercourse until later.
Only anal. A lot of girls are doing that now. That's true.
That's the Catholic.
Yes, Gary.
Was the first guy Dave Coulier?
Yes.
Oh, my God. You poor woman.
Did he bowl you over with his Popeye impression? How did he get you?
Yeah, what
You're
was
telling me your first was Dave Coulier from
Yeah.
Full House?
Yes.
Oh, for Christ's sake. You know, I've never had a virgin. No one
Good for
wanted
you,
it.
Howard.
You know the woman who first had sex with me?
Yep.
The one I lost my virginity to said, I don't want to give you, I don't want to have sex with you. I don't want to be your first because you will always remember me as your first, and I don't want to be trapped in your head the rest of my life.
No.
Write a song
How
about
old
that.
were you?
I was a young 16.
Okay, that's about the average.
A very gawky and awkward 16. And a very gawky and awkward 50. Yes, go ahead.
No, I'm done.
Oh, you're done. So, you decided to give your virginity to Dave. Why
did.
Dave?
I was in love
In love.
and ready.
How old was he?
I don't even remember.
48.
I always dated older men, though. That was the norm for me.
You were 19, and he was what, 34?
Something like that.
My God,
Early
that's
40s.
scandalous.
Is it?
Were your parents upset?
No, I dated people much with a bigger range between our ages than that.
Really?
Who?
Well,
I
who are
mean,
you
like
talking
how
about?
big?
How big a range?
I think the biggest gap between ages would have been when I was about 17. I dated someone around your age, Howard.
My age.
50?
40?
Who was that person?
25.
Was it Jack Nicholson? Who was that person? You're kidding me. Didn't your parents get alarmed?
I think they were a little alarmed, but they also knew that I was, this freak of nature in many ways
You're very mature.
at the time. Although emotionally, clearly immature as a young person.
You are.
What are you going to do?
You're mature and yet immature.
Exactly.
You are. You're
Exactly.
both.
Woman,
I'm both.
child.
I am.
I'm digging you.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Good,
I like
hot.
this. Yeah, you dated a record executive when you were 14.
Did I?
What?
Now, how'd
I
that
love
guy...
that you know more about this than I do.
You did. And how does a guy like
Oh,
that...
yeah.
How does a guy like that not go to jail?
Whatever.
You were 14.
And this record executive was what?
40.
My God.
I don't know what the age difference was. I was always dating older men.
Well, wait, you know how
But
old
at
the guy was.
14?
At
No, I don't.
14.
I was 15.
You were 15.
Yeah.
Now, how old was the record executive? Give me a ballpark.
He was in his late 20s, I think.
Really? Shameful.
Does his name rhyme with Bethan?
Oh, I don't think so.
Ah, the inquiry.
Wow, look at your history. No wonder you're angry. Wow.
It all prepared me, though.
Wasn't Clive Davis you were dating? Now
You liked women a little older.
Now here's something. You're on Maverick, right? Or you were? You're still with them, right?
Still, yeah.
That's Madonna's record label. Did she discover you, or did some dude discover you?
Guy O'Siri.
Oh, that guy.
Do you know Guy?
I think I met him once. He was on his BlackBerry. He wouldn't exactly talk to me. He just
He's
black-
addicted to his
he was
BlackBerry.
BlackBerrying people. I was at my friend Rick's house, and he had a bunch of record people over.
Right.
Rick Rubin.
Rick Rubin.
You know Rick?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So, he had people all sitting around,
On their BlackBerries?
but no one would talk.
Right.
They would just be on their BlackBerries, and I got creeped out, and I left.
It's an addictive thing in Los Angeles.
Oh,
It is.
so ridiculous.
What's a BlackBerry?
Do you live in Los Angeles?
I do 70% of the time.
Yeah.
So you must be making big bread. I mean,
I have some nice bread.
the music is beautiful.
Yeah, she's rich. That's
Thank you.
hot.
Is that music in your head all the time, or what? What's going on in that head of yours?
I repress for a year or two, and then I sit down and write it, and it all just comes rushing out.
After your first big hit album, you went off to India.
I did.
I hate India. I haven't even been there.
How did you go
Why
to
do you
India?
hate it?
Robin went to India for 2 hours and left.
Yeah, I left in 48 hours. I had to get out of there.
Didn't it frighten you?
There's no special amenities as we have here in North America.
Isn't it funny you made all that money, all that success, and you ran off to India?
It's the law for me.
Wow. Do you still go there?
I haven't gone back, but we want to do a show. We've had a couple of shows booked, but that monsoon season and some of the unpredictability of India, if you've been there, it's not a very predictable place.
Well, Robin went, and you ran out, right?
Yeah, I couldn't take it.
I would see Americans on rickshaws when I would go through India once in a while, and they would just be pulling their hair out. It was comedy.
I'm scared to go to Indian restaurants here. I can't imagine what it's like over there.
After my first hit record, I'm going to South Beach.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just
what was
getting
it?
off the radar.
Success was too much for you at that point? It was overwhelming you?
It was overwhelming.
You're
Yeah.
kidding me.
Oh, yeah. I was overwhelmed. I'm Canadian.
See, I think it's harder for women to become successful, and I'll tell you why.
Tell me why, yeah.
As soon as a guy gets successful, all you want to do is bang. As many women as you can get.
I've noticed that.
That's what rock guys do. Poor women become rock stars. They can't go out and bang every guy.
Well, they can, but they don't necessarily
They don't want to. Yeah, they want a
Yeah, they
relationship.
really don't want to.
And isn't it hard to have a relationship because you don't know who
why
really loves you?
people are approaching you, yeah.
Well, you kind of do.
In a sense, you need
why.
someone like me because I'm very famous,
Right.
and you would know I would be into you for you and not for your fame.
Perfect.
Silence.
You're gonna have to work hard.
Well, you know, when I say you could be fooled. Come on.
Yeah.
I could be fooled, as in I could think someone has certain intentions and then find out otherwise.
Yes, yeah.
My presumption is that everyone has some issue with my fame. I go into it knowing that someone has an issue with it, whether it's a huge issue or a small issue.
I have an issue.
But that's what makes it difficult because who wants to be involved in that?
Someone
I
else
do.
with the same issue.
I have the same. I think it's hot. She would enhance me.
What if you and Alanis were dating and you went to a restaurant
Right.
That's a good
and
word.
people were all about her and not about you?
That'd be a little too difficult
You'd start
for me.
resenting me.
I'd resent you.
The hell
Forget
with
it.
that.
I'm breaking up with you.
That was
You see,
8
it's
minutes.
over before it even started.
Listen, let me tell you. When I'm with a woman, it would be difficult for her to get more attention than me.
Yes,
It
of
would be.
course.
I'm being honest.
Unless we were in India.
Right. In India, who cares?
Look at
No,
that.
you're looking for any help you can get.
Look who's there.
It's the Canadian Debbie Gibson.
And a big,
Doesn't she hate that?
and a big, tall, geeky guy.
The king of all media.
She used to be on that Nick at Night.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, I just wanted to ask Alanis when she first met Dave Coulier.
She said it already.
You
Yeah, but
want
it
to
wasn't
know
true.
the specific?
First met him on You Can't Do It on Television, didn't she?
No.
Oh,
I was singing at an all-star hockey game. I was doing the national anthem, and he was playing.
and that was it.
Or
And then, you
wasn't
went,
that when the relationship started?
and then you went to bed with him right afterward, after the game?
10 minutes later?
Are you serious?
No.
Gotta be kidding me.
I am kidding you.
That's crazy.
How old was she then?
You're asking me the same question,
19.
and I can't remember.
Oh, because they
That's
wrote
when
in
she
the paper
lost
that
her
she was only 14.
No, that was the record executive. I'm keeping track of all this. I'm writing a book.
You know, maybe you can help me out because my memory's pretty bad, so you can fill me in.
It's pretty wild. It's like you're like into a lot of women's issues and stuff, right? You're real serious about that.
I love women. I support women. There's some crazy stuff going around the planet.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm with you right there.
We love broads, too.
You bet.
Aren't they great?
I
Yeah.
love everyone.
I don't know what I'd do without them.
I have 3
don't either.
daughters.
I don't know what I'd do without them either.
Me neither.
Have you ever had a relationship with a woman?
I experimented sexually when I was, well, a few years ago because I feel it's a rite of passage and very valuable to do. But
Oh.
unfortunately or fortunately, I'm heterosexual, although
Now we're getting somewhere. What do you mean you experiment? Now, I remember when Einstein did some experiments.
Right,
This-
and he came up with that theory.
Tell me it was with the
similar
Olsen twins.
revelations.
Did you experiment with the Olsen twins? Is that what you're telling us?
They're too young.
On the set
What do you
of-
mean you experiment? In other words, you said, hey, I have to find out
I
what
did.
this is all about.
Of course, I recommend it to everyone.
Is it because you're an artist? In other words, you need to go where you've never gone before?
Yes, I have to. I'm an experience junkie,
You are.
except for I don't need to do cocaine.
So how did you decide on a woman? Like how did you choose one if you're not really attracted to women? Who would you choose?
Well, I love women. I'm attracted to women. I'm just, unfortunately or fortunately, like I said,
Was it Madonna?
no.
No. But was it a famous woman that you were with?
It was a woman who was very comfortable with the whole concept of fame, and that's all I'm going to tell you.
Really?
Aretha Franklin.
And did you say to her? Did you say to her?
Nice guess.
Did you say to her? I'm curious about this. Look, I'm not into women, but I want to experiment, and I'm coming to you because I want to learn. Was that the approach?
I said it in a little bit more of a romantic way than that. Yeah.
How do you say it?
I think I was very clear about the fact that I was heterosexual and that I was curious and that I wanted to love. And I didn't care about what form it took.
So you didn't enjoy it, is what you're saying, because
I loved it.
you loved it.
Mm-hmm.
You loved her performing on you, or you performing on her? Or did you love
There
both?
we go. It was an amazing experience.
But why didn't you go back again?
Because I prefer my boyfriend.
I think you were sickened by it.
Yes.
Oh.
It didn't turn you on at all.
There's with the
Because if it-
brainwashing there, Howard.
No, because if it did turn you on, you would go back.
That's not true. How many things turn me on that I don't return to?
Tell me.
Millions.
Really?
Yeah, there's certain things that turn me on that I don't return to. There's other things to experience. Let's keep moving on.
Did you write a song about her?
No.
You didn't dig it then.
I wasn't freaked out by it, which is probably a good thing.
I think that's kind of hot.
I'd love to
Thinking
hear
of you, was she a lipstick lesbian, or was she a really good-looking woman, or was it like a heavy-set woman?
See, I think heavy set is hot.
You do.
I have different
I don't
tastes.
believe
Oh,
that.
then
Look
allow
at
me
you.
to get up.
You are into exercise. You marathon. You do all this stuff.
I
you,
used to.
no more.
No, heaven forbid now.
But look how you keep your body. It's nice.
Have a sandwich.
Was
I'm not a workout queen, though.
Was this woman a Rosie O'Donnell type?
Was it Rosie?
No, but she wasn't your stereotypical, aesthetic that I am guessing you're describing.
It'd be a lot hotter if it was.
For you.
For me.
For you.
I'm trying to
But
make
we're
this.
not talking about you.
We're talking to a lot of guys on the radio who probably have their pants off.
Oh,
right now.
jeez.
Including
God
me.
bless them.
Let's go to Michael.
Alanis, do you still talk to Alistair and Barr from You Can't Do That on Television?
I don't, but I really would love to get in touch with Alistair because I remember him having been such a sweet spirit, and I have no idea where he is. Last I heard, he was on the east coast of Canada, so.
Yes, Kimberly.
Oh, Alanis, I love you. My husband's and my wedding song was Head Over Feet. We love that song.
Cool, thank you.
Back when you were looking for a record deal, I bet you got rejected a lot.
I got rejected all the time.
You did. Like you sent that song in on a demo tape somewhere, and people listened to it and said, "It's crap."
I sent a lot of songs out. I think there were about 10 songs that I had that weren't on Jagged Little Pill that I just wrote. I call them the interim songs,
Yeah.
the getting the whistle wet songs.
Right.
And then I started writing, I think, Perfect and You Ought to Know. And I sent both of those out to a few people who were not interested.
Not interested.
And
Not
when you
interested.
see people now who do the same sort of thing, what do you think? I mean, you've had an incredible influence.
Yeah, I see both. I see how much I've influenced people in a way that I think is amazing. Because
So you ever see those record executives that turned you down? Do you ever go, "Hey, asswipe"?
I do.
You do.
I don't say asswipe, but I see them and I just smile.
You should
do.
say. You should
Yeah.
say it.
And are they like, "Oh man, we're kicking ourselves"? Because how many albums did you sell?
And all I know is the total because
What's the total?
I was in denial for a long time.
What's the total?
43 some odd million.
43 million albums.
Howard, the first album, Jagged Little Pill, I think was 16 million.
Wow.
43
Wow.
million.
I love that. The FU is the best.
But I still
I
wonder
think.
about, just seeing your influence.
You
I
mean-
mean, lots of people don't see that for years and years and years.
You mean like Avril Lavigne and that sort of thing?
Right, and it's everywhere.
I mean-
what your sound is everywhere.
Eminem is clearly influenced.
Oh,
by
stop it.
So does Madonna make a lot of money off your albums?
She has, I think.
Yeah, huh?
But what's
Does
going
she
on
ever?
with her record company? Isn't it sort of in trouble?
Well, Warner Brothers and Maverick have been coming to this for a long time because their relationship was that it was a boutique label and Warner was distributing it and,
Right.
the mother company, for lack of a better term, and they're trying to figure it out.
But do you get together with Madonna at all? Does she ever take you out to dinner and go, "Hey, baby, I got to thank you"?
We used to go to dinner a little bit more often. I haven't seen her in years.
Really?
Yeah.
She's the head of the company that is making tons of money off your 43 million albums, and you don't see her.
I don't.
She doesn't kiss your ass every once in a while, send you a card, something?
Call at least once a month.
A
It's
car?
more of a telepathic communication with Madonna and I.
Does that upset you?
Not at all.
Do you see Guy Oseary?
I see Guy a lot, yeah.
Is he the guy who discovered you? Is he the one who
Quote
heard?
unquote.
Well, what do you mean? Were you in a club one day performing something and people walked in, or they heard your tape?
I was in the middle of writing All I Really Want, and I got a phone call that Guy, I guess, had heard Perfect and You Ought to Know, and I went in my sweatpants and sat in his office and then went back to finish the song.
So you're at their mercy when you first sign a record deal. So it couldn't have been a very lucrative deal. In other words, after getting rejected, and then you have to go in and negotiate with these guys, it's like they're doing you a favor, right?
Not really.
They gave you a good deal.
Yeah.
So you made a decent amount of money.
I did.
And then when you got all that money after you went to India, did you buy a nice house and everything?
I did.
You did?
I did. It
What
was
kind of car do you drive?
Right now, I have a hybrid with Ryan, and I have a BMW.
Oh, okay.
What's a nice house cost in India? Like $80 or
Yeah, it does, actually.
Where'd you buy a house, in Malibu?
I rented a house in Malibu, which I no longer do, but I have a house in Brentwood.
Oh, yeah? Near OJ's old house?
I'd say 4.5 minutes away from there.
Nice.
Near Stab Me Lane?
What's a thing like that cost? Like about $20 million?
A house?
Yeah.
Well, it's changed over the last 8 years or so, but I got my house for almost $2 million, and now it's worth probably double because I added rooms. And
Oh, yeah? What do you got? You got any cool rooms? Like you got a media room?
I have a media room. I have a games room with it's just like an arcade, a giant arcade.
Oh, no kidding.
You got a kitchen in there?
Oh, yeah, she's got
No.
a kitchen.
It's nice.
Did you put in the studio and all that stuff?
I was going to, and I had the plans all drawn up, and
Don't
then
do it.
I didn't because I knew that I'd be walking by it every day, horrified
No.
that
Yeah.
it was
Everybody,
calling to me.
everybody who puts a studio in their house, their albums always tank.
Right. As soon as you
Is it
build
that
the
law?
studio-
Remember when Van Halen did? And who do you like musically? Because I was reading that whenever you register at a hotel, you go under the name Page Plant because you love Led Zeppelin.
I used to.
Hey, you're not into Led
No,
Zeppelin anymore?
I used to use that name.
Oh, you don't? Yeah,
Yeah,
obviously
she's
not
trying to
anymore.
tell people, don't try that.
Don't even try.
Is Led Zeppelin a big influence?
Not really.
Who do you like? Joni Mitchell or something?
Joni. I started listening to Joni after Jagged Little Pill
Right.
because everyone was handing me CDs. I was very ignorant. I used to listen to hip hop and, who else did I listen to as a kid? My parents were obsessed with, Paul Simon and Neil Young and Leonard Cohen and
Right.
Janis Joplin a little bit.
Oh, man.
But I didn't really have, I wasn't obsessed with music in that way. I was a more of a hip hop teenager.
Man, you're good.
Thanks.
Yeah, you got a lot of talent there.
Thanks, Howard.
Seem like a nice person, too.
Well, she seems very happy right now. I worried about her after that first album.
You don't get too happy.
Don't you worry. I'm everything. My anger's just taking on different forms these days.
Trust me, being messed up, there's a lot of money in it. Being
There's a lot of
dysfunctional.
relatability.
It's just
Yeah.
a rotten life, that's all.
Well, if you're human, there's an element of messed upness that you can't get out of.
And so you're happy now, and you're going to go on tour. Are you sick of doing those songs, or you still like it?
I still love it. I love singing songs.
And your heart's in it?
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever take guitar lessons?
I took a couple of lessons. I don't actually play guitar very well.
You don't?
I play well enough to write songs. And
So when you
I
write a
stop
song, do you write it on a guitar?
guitar or piano, yeah, or keyboard.
Wow.
And I don't even play keyboard that well. I started playing when I was 6, but then I quit.
So what do? Do you sometimes like hum these songs and just have it in your head?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Oy.
I hum, but nothing comes out of it. It's always bad.
People tell you to stop.
Stop humming.
Stop humming.
So the new, yeah.
Whatever you do, please, sir, stop humming.
Right. Well, I tell you, that's great. As a matter of fact, Alanis is here to celebrate her new album. It's called So-Called Chaos. What does that mean, so-called chaos? I don't understand that. That's something I don't understand. What do you mean so-called chaos? Either it's chaos or it's not.
Well, so-called chaos as in, the thought if we didn't have a government to babysit us, that we'd be self-governing enough and take care of each other and raise our consciousness to the point where
Now
we
you're
wouldn't need
talking.
it.
Now you're saying something important.
But the thought is that, it would be immediate anarchy and all hell would break loose. And my thought is that at first it may, but after a while we'd have to pull our bootstraps up and get it together enough to make it work.
We'd have utopia,
There you go.
perhaps.
Right, utopia.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's too much government. There's too much
Way
goddamn
too
government.
much.
Too much
Way
relying
too
on other
much.
people. No self-referring happening.
I got fired from 6 radio stations because of the government.
And because of a lot of people saying, we need somebody to tell us what to listen to.
Scumbags. We'll see who has the last laugh.
Yeah.
I hope you're not voting for Bush.
I can't vote, but I'm getting dual citizenship at some point so that I can vote because I have to.
You don't support that maniac, do you?
Right now, I'm still wondering how we're going to figure this out because I don't at this point really want to vote for anyone other than the Green Party, but I wouldn't want to affect. I think voting
Wait a
for
second.
someone like the Green Party would be on an alphabet point R in the alphabet, but we're at point B, so to get from B to C, I don't know who I would vote for because I wouldn't want to ruin.
You lost me on this.
We're on X.
Did you?
Look, we
What
got to
are
make
you
a
gonna
stand.
ruin?
We got to vote for Kerry.
We'll vote for Kerry
Good.
to get from B to C. That's my point.
Okay.
We're going from A to B.
We're going from minus.
Am I right?
Minus A
To B.
to maybe A.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Alanis is like me. She can't vote. We both can't vote, which is very nice.
That's right. Well, you're a
that's
convicted
because
felon.
she was born somewhere else.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She's a victim of where she was born. You're a victim of a felony.
I was actually the
You
cause
can't rob a bank and vote.
I caused the felony.
Yes.
All right, listen. You got the new video out and all that?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'll have to check it out.
You love the video, Howard. She cuts her hair in the video.
Yeah, I've been watching it. It's good.
I went on the internet to watch it, and then I couldn't. It didn't come up. Like I clicked on it, nothing happened.
Well, when we were at the Hard Rock, they were playing it a lot.
Right.
Wait, Dave Coulier is on the phone. He wants to talk to you. Yes, Dave.
Hey, it's Dave Coulier.
Oh, get out.
That wasn't Dave Coulier.
I don't believe that guy.
Not
He
for a
sounds funny.
second.
What is it, Double A?
Hey, Howard, how's it going? Listen, you and Alanis Morissette seem to hit it off really well today. She's a great.
There's a sexual tension between us. Yes, I'll admit that.
I was wondering if she could write a song for you and millions of listeners about that Jesus freak president of ours and, you know, the FCC. Tell him to go F off and stuff.
Yes, Alanis, I'm commissioning you to write a song about me versus the FCC and George W. Bush.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll need it by tomorrow.
And could you write a song about The Rock's father, Chief Kwame Wame?
Can you write a song about a midget with 3 wrestling belts?
Can I hit you with a woman wick with a boom?
Alanis Morissette, you are delightful. Thank you for coming in. I wish you luck with the new album.
Thank you.
We'll be back right after these words.
Alanis, how did everything go?
Everything was fantastic.
Now, what do you think of Howard now that you met him?
I love him.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, what do you love about him? The personality, the looks, or what?
Everything. I just love that has the whole freedom of expression thing going on, and I can't support someone in expressing themselves freely enough.
And so is that why you came down here today?
Yes.
All right, so you had a good time?
I did.
Good. Thanks for coming down. Hopefully we'll see you again.
Thanks for having me.